The Aviator begins with a boy consumed by speed, fear of germs, and an obsession with achieving the impossible, and it never loosens its grip. This isn't just another Hollywood biopic. Every camera movement, every shift in color, and every sound choice carries intention. Leonardo DiCaprio didn't simply study Howard Hughes. He worked with psychiatrists to understand the complexity of Hughes's unraveling mind. But the real brilliance of the film goes beyond performance. It lies in what Martin Scorsese chose not to fake. Real planes were used. Colors evolve like the passage of time itself. Sets were constructed with meticulous detail, reflecting Hughes's own obsessive nature. What emerges is a story where obsession, tragedy, and genius collide to create one of the most technically ambitious films ever made. Instead of relying on simple filters to mimic the past, Scorsese aimed for authenticity. He wanted the film to feel as though it had truly been shot in the 1920s and 1930s. Working with cinematographer Robert Richardson, he recreated long-lost film processes through digital color grading. Early scenes echo the look of two-strip Technicolor, limited to reds and cyans. As the story progresses, the palette deepens into the rich tones of three-strip Technicolor, filled with vibrant reds and golds. This wasn't just visual flair, it was history recreated through light. By studying original film stock and even replicating its imperfections, they turned color into a subtle time machine. The crash sequence stands out as one of the most intense moments in the film. It feels real because much of it actually was. Instead of leaning heavily on green screens, the team built full-scale house sections and rigged them with explosives. Multiple cameras captured the destruction from every angle. Miniatures were used for wide shots, crashing through detailed model neighborhoods, while close-ups combined real fire and DiCaprio's live reactions. The final result blends these elements so seamlessly that the audience never questions what's real. When it came to portraying OCD, accuracy was essential. Rather than falling into exaggerated clichés, the filmmakers brought in a leading psychiatrist to guide the performance. DiCaprio learned how intrusive thoughts trigger compulsive actions and how those behaviors escalate. Every repeated phrase, every gesture, and every moment of isolation reflects real clinical patterns. The famous repetition of "the way of the future" isn't just dramatic, it mirrors how obsessive loops trap the mind. The portrayal became so precise that it's even been referenced in educational contexts. Cate Blanchett faced the challenge of portraying Katharine Hepburn, one of the most recognizable personalities in Hollywood history. Instead of doing a simple imitation, she immersed herself in Hepburn's early career. She studied her speech patterns, physical movements, and presence. With the help of dialect coaches and detailed observation, Blanchett captured not just the voice, but the essence of Hepburn. The performance feels so natural that it erases the sense of imitation entirely. Rather than relying on CGI, Scorsese turned to large-scale, radio-controlled aircraft models. These weren't small props, they were massive replicas, some with wingspans reaching 25 feet. Filmed in real and light, they created motion and texture that early digital effects couldn't replicate. The decision reflected Hughes's own dedication to real engineering and added a timeless quality to the film. The Senate hearing scene feels dramatic, but it closely follows real historical events. Much of the dialogue comes directly from actual transcripts. Hughes's sharp responses and calm confidence weren't invented, they were documented. By trusting the source material, the film transforms a political hearing into gripping drama without needing embellishment. Though the film appears to take place in Los Angeles, much of it was shot in Montreal. Entire city blocks were transformed with palm trees, vintage signage, and detailed architecture. Careful lighting and camera work masked the cold climate, creating a convincing illusion of 1930s California. This approach gave the filmmakers complete control over the environment, resulting in a more authentic recreation than shooting in modern Los Angeles would have allowed. Scorsese's commitment to practical effects was also a philosophical choice. He believed that physical objects interact with light in ways digital creations cannot fully replicate. The weight, texture, and presence of real models grounded the film in a tangible reality, aligning with Hughes's world of machinery and invention. Even smaller roles were handled with care. Gwen Stefani's brief appearance as Jean Harlow worked because she understood the visual language of classic Hollywood glamour. Through careful study and transformation, she blended seamlessly into the era, disappearing into the role. Before production, tragedy struck when a pilot working on a replica aircraft lost his life during a test flight. The incident deeply affected the project. It reinforced the risks tied to aviation and strengthened the filmmaker's commitment to honoring that reality with respect and accuracy throughout the film. As the story moves forward, the color palette subtly shifts. Early scenes feel softer and more, while later moments become richer and more intense. This evolution reflects both the advancement of film technology and Hughes's psychological decline. Without using on-screen dates, the film lets color quietly signal the passage of time. The film achieved major success at the Academy Awards, winning multiple honors, particularly in technical categories. Despite its achievements, Scorsese himself was once again overlooked for Best Director, a pattern that continued until later in his career. To deepen authenticity, real footage from Hughes's own films was integrated into the story. Scenes from his productions blend with recreated moments so smoothly that the line between past and present disappears. This layering turns the film into more than a biography, it becomes a living tribute to Hughes's legacy. In the end, The Aviator isn't just a film about a man. It's a carefully crafted experience where every detail, visual, emotional, and technical, works together to tell a story of brilliance, obsession, and the cost of chasing perfection.